Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, SmackNPie, to one of 3 videos that we'll do before Silent Hill DLC drops on 23rd, and today we're going to do the first game of Silent Hill, the original Silent Hill story recap. This is for you basically to understand the lore, characters, so that when the game actually drops, you can get some of the Easter eggs, characters, and understand the lore and why things are happening the way they're happening. I've took this small summary from the fandom of Silent Hill wiki. I'll put the link in the description, so sit back, relax, and also lastly, this is a very boiled down, this is not going in details, really boiled down summary and recap of Silent Hill 1. Enjoy. Silent Hill opens with Harry Mason's drive to the titular town with his adopted daughter, Cheryl, for a vacation. At the town's edge, he swerves to avoid hitting a girl in the road, and as a result, he crashes and loses consciousness. Waking up in town, he realizes that Cheryl is missing and sets out to look for her. The town is deserted and foggy, with snow falling out of season, and he begins to experience bouts of unconsciousness and encounters with hostile creatures. During his exploration of the town, he meets Sybil Bennett, a police officer from the neighboring town who is investigating the mysterious occurrences. A new character, Dahlia Gillespie, occultist, gifts him the Flores, a charm which he claims can counteract the darkness spreading through the town. Later in the town's hospital, he encounters its director, Dr. Michael Kaufman, bewildered by the sudden changes in the town, and discovers a frightened amnesiac nurse, Lisa Garland, hiding in one of the rooms. Harry can later rescue Kaufman from a monster, discover evidence of Kaufman's role in the local drug trafficking, and stumble upon Kaufman's hidden bottle of Agla Ophitis, a supernatural liquid that can exorcise demons. Harry comes to believe that a darkness is transforming the town into someone's nightmare, which is why the inhabitants have mostly disappeared. Dahlia urges him to stop the demon responsible for it, the girl in the road who appears to him sporadically, or Cheryl will die. Continuing his search, Harry finds himself drawn into a fight with Sybil, who has become the host to a supernatural parasite. The player can choose to save her. The next time Harry sees the girl from earlier, the Flores activates and neutralizes her telekinetic powers. Dahlia then appears and reveals that she manipulated Harry into catching the girl, an apparition of her daughter, Alessa. Harry then awakes in the hospital again, next to Lisa. Lisa explains that she experienced a sense of deja vu while in the basement, and when he finds her again, she despairs that she is the same as them. She pleads with Harry to save her, and blood runs down her face. Horrified, he flees. Her diary reveals that she nurses Alessa from earlier during a secret, forced hospitalization. Alessa's never-healing wounds terrified her as she fell deeper into a drug addiction fueled by Kaufman, the doctor. Finding Dahlia with Alessa's defeated apparition and charred body, Harry demands to know Cheryl's whereabouts. He discovers that 7 years earlier, Dahlia conducted a ritual to force Alessa to birth the cult's deity. Alessa survived, being immolated because her status as vessel rendered her immortal, while her mental resistance to the ritual caused her soul to be bisected, preventing the birth. One half manifested as the infant Cheryl, whom Harry and his wife adopted. Dahlia then casts a spell to lure Cheryl back, while Alessa was imprisoned within the hospital, enduring unceasing agony as a result of her injuries. With Alessa's plan thwarted and her soul rejoined, the deity is revived and possesses her. 4 different endings are available, depending on the player's previous actions. In the bad ending, the deity merges with Alessa and electrocutes Dahlia before attacking Harry. He defeats it, and Cheryl's voice thanks him for freeing her. Overcome by grief, Harry collapses, and the next scene is that of his corpse in his wrecked car. Then we got the bad plus ending. This ending concludes with Harry and Sybil fleeing instead after the deity's demise. In the good ending, however, Kaufman, now feeling betrayed by Dahlia, demands that she restore the town to normal and uses Agla Ophitis to exorcise the deity out of Alessa. Harry defeats the deity, and Alessa gives him, Harry, an infant, the reincarnation of herself, Alessa, and Cheryl. She then helps him escape from her nightmare realm. And finally, in the good plus ending, Harry escapes with Sybil and the baby. In both good endings, a bloody and vengeful Lisa prevents Kaufman from escaping with Harry. And there you have it. One last note I will say about Silent Hill 1 is that most of the story elements and plots, they were incredibly ignored by Silent Hill 2 and 3, but the key elements remains, such as Alyssa, Harry, and the deity. Now of course I didn't went into details about the other world, Foggy World, and the real world, but that is something that will make things very complicated. This is what you need to know. The plot that I've shared here is what you needed to know about the Silent Hill story as a whole. It is based on this fictional town where people are magically disappearing, and the town then takes on people's tragic past. Every time a protagonist go there, the monsters that they see are basically those protagonists' guilt, fear, anger that they're fighting from within. Every tragic person comes here Silent Hill for a relaxing vacation or something else. Just as in Silent Hill 3, it'll be completely different, but they don't sit well. Even though in the origins of Silent Hill, Alyssa's backstory has been explained even further and where it all started, this is pretty much what you need to know from the first game. It'll make more sense during Silent Hill 2 and Silent Hill 3 events, but just think of it as Cheryl and Alyssa whom Harry saw whilst entering the town. Cheryl and Alyssa merged together because back in the past, Alyssa, Dahlia, their plan was kind of put on pause and hold until Cheryl and Harry came into the town. So thanks to them, it does happen. The plan does succeed in a way, kinda sorta, you'll see in Silent Hill 2, but it's complications and deep lore that makes Silent Hill 1 one of the best psychological horror experiences of all time. I would leave you here. I know that most of it doesn't make sense tomorrow and the day after tomorrow when we cover Silent Hill 2 and 3. With that being said, I will leave you here. Make sure to stay tuned. Just 3 days left till we get ourselves Silent Hill DLC in Dark Deception, Monsters and Mortals. Subscribe right now, help me get to 75k. I'll see you in the next one.